Annie was the child of Vivian and her father, Marty, who ended up getting the surname Blackburn through adoption. And whereas I guess we're getting into that in the next part, Annie Blackburn, which opens, I don't know if it opens up with, but really goes in on Cooper as a person. Like she holds him to blame, and she asks if she's being too hard on him, but basically goes into Cooper's past and says, well, if he hadn't cavorted with Wyndham Earl's wife, which you reported on the fact that he orchestrated that himself, like, sorry, but you're wrong here. Like, to go in on him saying that it was his fault for being involved with his wife, which led him to be his enemy, which led him to target Annie as the winner of Twin Peaks and of Miss Twin Peaks, and that no, this is not Cooper's fault. This is Wyndham Earl's fault. Like, I have beef and I'm mad. The beef is cooked. I'm hot enough to cook the beef. It's ready to add noodles and milk and make it hamburger helper.
Maybe the angle is that if Cooper didn't have the white knight syndrome thing where like he needed to save people, he wouldn't have been so easily orchestrated into the situation that he got in.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that would be fair. But I also feel like as a trained FBI agent, he would have the wherewithal to go to Annie and say, hey, something's going to happen tonight if you win this thing. I can't tell you exactly what, but if you win, you're in trouble. If you're announced, immediately hide.
Yeah.
Well, he
doesn't lift a finger to help.
Yeah, he wasn't. I mean, the giant told him no, and he still didn't listen.
Yep.
Yeah.
The giant who has famously given great information and never left anything out.
That was great information.
Yeah, that was the most blatant explanation he ever gave.
Yeah.
I will tell you 3 things. No, wait, like 6 things, but it's going to take a minute.
And then 30 more things over the next 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, you know, this is like something a toddler could know.
Yeah, but I could look at him and go, you got me before.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying, but I don't know.
Frost also said in an interview that I read, someone was talking about the White Knight stuff and a bunch of other stuff too, and he was just like, hey, just remember, like, this is Tammy's perception of events.
Right.
But then other interviews, he talks in depth about Cooper being kind of a flawed character and things like that. I don't know where I draw the line as to, like, does he really have White Knight syndrome, or is that his job?
Right.
Like, it's your job to save and protect people. And like, I think that if it was Ben Horn that got taken to the Black Lodge by Wyndham Earl, Cooper still would have gone after him, I think.
The motivations might have been slightly different, but he would have.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. The motivations
he would have done the job. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, or even if it's not his job, like, he's like David Lynch, like he's a Boy Scout. Like, again, even if he wasn't an FBI agent, no matter who got taken to the Black Lodge, he probably would have gone in after him.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the White Knight stuff in here is cool, and it's given birth to all kinds of kind of alternate views, and it gives the audience permission, and it was maybe me for the first time, to just kind of think as Cooper's like, oh, okay, like, yeah, you're right, like, he's not a perfect guy, like, no one's perfect.
He's a human being.
Yeah. And like, and this is, you know, the original show, like, he is kind of like the idyllic character, you know, and he doesn't do anything wrong. And I think maybe I lived with that for 20 years. Like, well, he was great. He was perfect. Yeah. He was Cooper. He was awesome. And then like, then the return, and then this book kind of gave me permission to kind of open up and think critically of him a little bit. Yeah. Now, all that being said, I personally don't think White Knight syndrome is the right framing of it, at least in my mind. I think it's cool that people are running with that idea, but it implies that it's all these women in trouble. Oh, he's trying to save Laura Palmer. He's trying to save Laura Palmer. It's like, is he? is he trying to save Laura Palmer, or is it just kind of like in his programming to do, or is this? I still contend, even Ben Horn, the biggest prick in Twin Peaks, if he'd have been taken to the Black Lodge, no, Ernie Niles. Even if Ernie got dragged by Wyndham Earl to the Black Lodge, I think Cooper would have gone in after him.
Yeah,
would he have run after him as quickly?
No, and he would have been so sweaty.
Yeah.
He would have slipped right through those curtains.
I love the visual of Wyndham Earl going to snatch Ernie Niles and just slipping like he's oiled up.
12 rainbow trout.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, that is 12 rainbow trout, isn't it?
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Adjusting his tie.
Listen, Mr. Earl, I'm just not cut out for this. You can't take me in there. You can't take me in the Black Lodge. You just can't take me in there because I'm just not cut out for this. I just can't do this. I don't know what to do. Shut up.
I'm crying.
And his wire is what
tie tarantulas to your teeth.
Wyndham's head go on fire.
Yeah, exactly.
What if the perfect foil to save the day was if he had tried to take Ernie in and just couldn't bring himself to do it because it was too much?
Oh man,
I can see that playing out right outside the Glastonbury Grove. Oh man.
So yeah, the Annie Blackburn chapter does not talk about Annie.
Right.
no.
What about Annie or Ernie?
Annie or Ernie. Yeah, we wrote our own way better chapter this year just now.
How's Ernie? Don't
do that to me.
How's Ernie?
Sorry.
How's Ernie?
Man.
How's Ernie?
I didn't think there would be another way to get a good joke in out of that. Oh man.
Yep.